It's another edition of our GAGS Goals Update, our Road to 198 series. If this is your first time stopping by, I'm Coach Gaglione. I'm the owner of Gaglione Strength, and I've been involved with powerlifting and strength coaching for over 13 years. And this is my weight loss journey. I've been as heavy as 340 pounds, and I've competed in 6 different weight classes. I'm on my way back down to the 198 class, which I first competed in at a ripe 18 years young. I want to kind of recap a little bit. I don't have any training footage really from this week. It was a little bit hectic. We had our team compete at RPS Heatwave. Really successful showing. We had a lot of ladies squatting and deadlifting north of 300 pounds. A lot of men squatting over 600 pounds and deadlifting over 700 pounds. Really awesome showing. Really happy with how the team did. It was one of our best performances that we've had in a long time. So I'm really excited about that. But so that's kind of my excuse a little bit for not having training footage of myself. Elvis was competing as well, so he was kind of resting up. We didn't really have some people to kind of film and things like that. But I promise I did get my training done. I want to talk about a little bit about what is to come for me, my strategy, and also I want to talk about a little bit about consistency and kind of playing the long game. I think this is really important. I recently, over the last couple of months, I got a message of a man, and nothing against this person. It's just I think it's an important. I think we can learn from the interactions. That's why I want to kind of share this message with you. But I got a message. This guy was kind of in a panic, and he said, I really need to lose weight. I'm unhealthy, and he was worried about all these things in his health. And he said, I want to lose weight fast, like you. And, I was a little bit kind of taken back and even, to be honest, a little bit offended. We see these Instagram stories, we see these things, and we only see a snapshot of what's going on. But the truth is, this weight loss journey is honestly, it's been a decade process about, my weight has yo-yoed up and down, over the years. To be honest, it has been a very, very slow process. And really over the last 3 years, I finally have gotten a handle on it. So I'm going to just kind of pull up some information just to kind of put things in perspective. But the most kind of, we can kind of start recent and then kind of backtrack a little bit. But looking at my MyFitnessPal, I think this is really important. I've been kind of, the last year or so, my weight has really just kind of fluctuated between about 245 and 230. There's been a handful of times I've weighed, there's been some stretches where I've kind of weighed sub 230, but never, and then still like between, so I guess my weight has kind of fluctuated probably between 245 and 226, in that kind of range. So looking at MyFitnessPal, I just want to kind of go over a couple of things. So my weight has not changed since really June 1st. So the past month, I really have made quote unquote zero progress. I've been kind of stuck in that kind of 226 to 232 range. So I've been kind of just sticking around 230. So for the past month, and I'll tell you, I've been putting a lot of effort in. I got sick. I've been dealing with this shoulder injury still. The shoulder injury is actually, it feels a lot better when I'm lifting. But it's definitely affected my sleep quite a bit, and that's kind of I know that's going to impede my recovery, so I need to kind of work on that. So I've been getting massage and doing things like that. I had this really nasty dental abscess, which knocked me out for 2 days. I couldn't even really get out of bed. I've had some issues. I've been having some ongoing issues in my personal life, and that's still a fairly large stressor for me. So my point is that there's really never a right time, and things are really honestly never going to be perfect, but it's really about consistency for the long haul. And the dental abscess was definitely a good example of this, because I started getting pumped full of antibiotics. It was definitely a little bit harder. I had to skip a couple of days of training. One day I didn't eat at all, and I still gained weight somehow. It's I guess from just inflammation and things like that. And that was really frustrating. And we're all going to have days like this. We're all going to have things. Sometimes it just kind of feels like maybe we have a dark cloud over our head. But in reality, just life happens sometimes, and it's really important that you just focus on your next meal. You focus on your next workout. And sometimes I have found when things are going bad, or at least maybe the perception is things are going bad, that you just focus on the next play. So using that we always like to use those football analogies. I've learned a lot of football analogies from my business coach, Paul Reddick. We talk about moving the chains, and it's really just about chipping away. It's about getting those three-yard plays. It's not about having these Hail Mary plays. And especially when it comes to strength training, especially when it comes to weight loss, adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds to your lift in a period of time will add up. Losing a pound here, a pound there, it really adds up quite a bit. And if you're like a quarterback and you get sacked, you can't worry about that play. You have to eliminate it. You have to forget about it. You have to have a short-term memory. We say short-term memory is really important. You forget about it. You move on. You make an adjustment, and then you kind of move forward. You got to focus on the next play. And sometimes things happen, and I give this advice a lot when people are at meets. If they get a bad call or if they miss a lift, you got to have short-term memory, and you got to get over it. You can be mad about it for a few seconds, and then you got to move on, and that's part of being an athlete. That's part of being successful. So it's been a really tough, the last couple of months have been tough because I've kind of been putting more and more effort into my diet and my training, and I kind of been feeling stuck. But I'm back under 230 today, so that was a big win. It was 228.9, so but I've been, like I said, I haven't been, since I got sick, I have not been under 230, so that was a big win for me, and training is feeling good. So my big thing right now is just continuing on the diet and also just getting my shoulder better. Like I said, right now it's functioning good. It's not affecting me. It's not affecting my training, but it is affecting my sleep. So I need to kind of work on that. In this past year, 1 year ago on this day, I was about 240. So in 1 year, 10 pounds. But I feel like my body has drastically changed in this year. I feel like I've gotten so much leaner. I've gotten so much more conditioned. So even though it's only 10 pounds in a year is not a lot. But this has been, obviously, after losing 100 pounds, the weight loss is going to slow a little bit. My weight loss in July 6th, July 13th, July 21st, it's pretty close. July 21st, 2017, I was 305 pounds. So from 2017 to 2018 was definitely my biggest, kind of progress in terms of weight loss. My weight loss has slowed down a lot, but my strength has improved a lot more, and I've been maintaining strength and muscle a lot better. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know about that. And then, like I said, in 2016, that was kind of when I was still in the 330 kind of range. So I just want to kind of share that with you guys. The last time that I was under 230 pounds was 2007. In 2007, I did my first meet as a junior lifter in the 220 class. And then my first meet was in 2006. So that was in the 198 class. So that was about 13 years ago. So, it's been a progress. And then just so you guys know my progression as far as weight gain. So in 2008, when I graduated college, I did my first meet at 242. Actually, if you guys are familiar with Dominici, that was Dominici's first meet when it was my first meet at 242. I believe he totaled around 1,500 pounds. I squatted 490 at 242 on that particular day. 2009, I competed in bench only, 275, first multiply meet. And then 2010, I competed as a 308 lifter. I did my first equipped meet then. 2011, I didn't do any competitions. I was getting my business started around that time. It's the only year I have not competed since 2006. 2012, I was super heavyweight. At this point, then I elected to hire Jesse Burdick as a coach. I hit my first 800-pound squat with him. I got my body weight down to about 280 pounds using a diet called Carb Night. And then I did a weight cut to the 275 class, but I was still weighing around 295. So 2014 was probably when I was my strongest, squatting about 880 in briefs in training. I was benching around 585. I pulled 700 pounds around this time in training. So just so you guys know. And then that's kind of when I started to let my weight kind of creep back up. In 2015, that's when I started to, I was able to squat 700 raw and just sleeves. Got really strong raw. Was able to hit over mid 600s for the deadlift, close to 400 pounds in the bench. Then I started to get I really wanted to hit a 900-pound squat, so I elected to kind of push my body weight up, but then my sleep apnea got really bad. So 2016 was when I really started to try to figure out my weight loss. It took me like a full year to kind of get everything dialed in. I got my blood work done from Dr. Tom. I did all this stuff. I worked with a couple different diet coaches that many did not pan out, but I started to figure out things that worked for me. And then 2017 was a big breaking point for me because I hit a 660 competition deadlift in the 275 class. I did a meet in Ohio with Bench and Benny. And that was an all-time meet PR for me. That was my best I've done in a contest. Like I said, I pulled 700 in the gym, but never in a contest. So that was kind of a breaking point for me that I could still be strong, I could still be healthy, I could work on my weight loss journey. So I just did a single lift, and then from there, I did my debut meet at 242 in 2018. I hit a 1,900-pound total at 242, which is my best, my second best Wilks score to date, and my third best total as far as weight. And then I hit an 1845 total in the 220 class with a token bench, but very proud I hit an 800-pound squat in the 220 class very handily, and that's my best Wilks to date. So as I entered the end of 2000, that's kind of the progression. It's been a very long progression, so I wanted to kind of share that with you guys. Slow and steady. It's really important. So now I'm entering in my meet preparation I'm going to compete in the RPS Autumn Apocalypse in Newark, New Jersey. In the 198 class. I'm really excited for this. I'm starting out doing some training, some raw training before I get back in equipment to kind of build a good foundation. I'm just going to continue chipping away. I'm not going to rush the process. I'm going to take as much time as I need, and I'm going to put myself in striking distance of the 198 class. We have kind of the program set out. A lot of times with my equipment, I use like a linear progression, and I use straight weight and reverse bands mostly. And then I'll also have workouts in my briefs. So usually about 2 weeks out of the month, I'll get in powerlifting gear, and then 2 weeks out of the month, I'll do some raw training, and I do kind of the accessory work in between. So that's kind of what's to come. That's kind of my update. I just want to kind of share because I never really shared with you guys like the full progression of my weight loss journey and all that. But I'm really excited. I do feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I do feel within the next couple of years I could hit my all-time best numbers in a lighter weight class, and I'm very excited about that. So thank you guys for listening. If this video helped you, please subscribe. Please give us a 5-star review on iTunes as well, or Powerlifting with the People podcast. If you want to support our program, check out the links below. Every little bit helps. Thank you guys so much for listening. And until next time, stay strong.